Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the world you are joining to the session. Welcome to another session from Microsoft Zero to Hero community. So glad to see that the number of the people now joining it's increasing. So it's really exciting to see. So my name is Hamid, also community lead, and Mohsen, you have anything to share?
Yeah, hello everyone from everywhere, and I'm so happy again I'm here for another exciting session.
Wonderful. So today we have another exciting session. I'm sure we will learn really great stuff and new experiences from Thomas about the topic Azure Advisor and the well-architected framework. This is really exciting, like the architecture methodologies and mindsets to learn from professionals with different experiences that we can apply them later in our workspace or learn to create a new learning paths for ourselves. So yeah, welcome again to Azure Zero to Hero session, especially because this session is also related mainly with Azure services and technologies. You can scan the QR code to get the links to the different channels of the community, from YouTube to LinkedIn to the website. We are actually trying to improve more and more within the. Oh yeah, you will also get the Learn to the Learning Room, which is the official learning room on Microsoft Learn. And we are all from professionals to the learners and there to help each other to grow together, learn together. So we'll talk a little bit about Microsoft Learn and Microsoft Learn Tech communities, which we are currently as Azure Zero to Hero in this session. So again, we always mention in every session with every professional and speakers we have from all over the world to make Microsoft Learn your homepage because we are all at the same path, at this timeline. We are learning all together about Microsoft Cloud technologies, Microsoft AI, especially with Microsoft as the lead on the market. So this is really important to every time you open your phone, your laptop, you open your browser to see some updates from Microsoft Learn, to get some updates about the modules. You can create customized training paths for yourself and continue with exam practices, especially. This is really amazing. So the exam practices which we also shared a video recently about it. It's a really great opportunity that you can also feel confident before going to an exam. So Microsoft Learn learning rooms are also the tech communities, as mentioned in the first slide, which we all gather together from professionals to learners, from students, fresh graduates to share, ask questions, learn together, grow together. So as an open community, we always welcome you to come and being active, speak and share your experiences, write blogs, and just feel comfortable as home in the community. So don't forget that this is AI Skills Challenge month. You can learn a lot of great and amazing stuff about Microsoft AI services. So there now they have like now four different modules. You can learn about Microsoft Fabric, Microsoft OpenAI services, Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft AI services in general. So this is really a great opportunity that you can start your journey with Microsoft AI services within AISC months, which is AI Skills Challenge month. And at the end of each AISC challenge, you will get an exam certificate. So this is really important, and this is an official exam certificate you will get in your Microsoft Learn profile transcript, which you can later share with your network, with your socials, on your CV, that you passed this level and you are familiar with Microsoft AI services and you're ready to go for the next step. And the most important part, that you are a learner mindset. So before going for the session, we have a code of conduct to share. So being aware of each other, being friendly and patient, and welcoming, respectful, and opening to all questions and viewpoints, understanding our differences, and being kind and considerating others. So thanks for joining. I'm adding Thomas here. Hi, Thomas.
Hello.
Good to see you. So the stage is yours.
Okay, then I'm going to start. Thank you for having me. The topic today I will try to cover is Azure Advisor and the well-architected framework. And as you expect, these topics are related to each other, and maybe I can bring a little bit light into the dark if you are not so familiar with the well-architected framework and Azure Advisor. So, first thing first, before we start, I want to introduce myself. My name is Thomas Bründl, and I'm your instructor for this session and for this topic today. And at the moment, I'm working for a leading Austrian cloud service provider as an expert in hybrid cloud and data center. My cloud experience covers Azure and AWS, but my focus is clearly on Azure. As you can see, I'm also addicted to use Microsoft Learn and to make certificates, as you can see. And yeah, um, my focus is clearly on Azure and the hybrid offerings there, which of course is driven by my professional field. You can find my contact information listed here in case you want to contact me after the workshop. And don't worry, I will show it in the end again. One thing I also want to mention is I'm not a native English speaker, so in the best case, I say something funny. Feel free to ask if I make some mistake or I have to reword something. It's not a problem for me. Okay. So what are we going to cover today? I will give you an introduction, a short story how I will start this topic. After that, I will give you general information about the advisor and its functionality. After that, I will give you some example recommendations you can receive from the advisor and the corresponding procedure to solve these recommendations or to solve these problems. Then I will introduce you to the optimization status. You can see in the advisor dashboard over the advisor score by using the advisor score. And then I will also introduce you to procedures like the quick fix procedure or mass remediation. And after that, I will show you how you can have a nice reporting and alerting here. And the last point is there are no really much configurations you have to do or to set up, but there are 3 or 5 uh, settings you can change in the advisor, and this is also something I want to cover to give you the whole picture on this product. Okay. When operating a cloud environment, you are constantly confronted with questions like, where is my cloud environment inefficient or uneconomical? Is my cloud deployment correct and in line with the latest best practices? And of course, how can I answer these questions and how can I involve my cloud environment to be aligned with these best practices? First, you have to identify the fields you have to work through. That means you are constantly confronted with the following topics. The topics are security, costs, efficiency, and best practices. And now the question comes up how to handle this situation and how to have the right answers for these topics. And that's the point where the Azure Advisor comes into the game. There is a official definition by Microsoft Learn. You can read through, but I created a simplified definition, and this is something I want to show you here. So the simplified definition is it's Microsoft Azure Advisor is a personal cloud consultant. It provides recommendations on best practices tailored to the provisioned Azure resources and services. And it's based on the well-architected framework. So if you don't have heard about the well-architected framework, this is something I will cover on the next slide. If the question comes up, if the question comes up that you want to have this presentation afterwards, I will share it with the community, and you can read through all the steps afterwards. So, what is the well-architected framework? We find in the well-architected framework 5 pillars that are defined by Microsoft. We will find the cost optimization pillar, the security pillar, reliability pillar, operational excellence, and performance and efficiency. And what is covered in cost optimization? The cost optimization, there you should have the right mindset, and if you plan a new architecture, you should have in mind that it's a complete new topic, uh, because the in an on-premise environment, the IT guys and the IT department is the owner of the costs, and that's something that is completely different in the cloud. In the cloud, you should hand over the um, ownership for your costs and resources to the professional services. And so you should have reporting in place, and cost optimization is an ongoing topic. You have always a new feature available in the cloud, and it's a topic and that has to be revised on a daily basis. Then we have security. That means in the cloud you have a different way to think about security. There is no perimeter tactic anymore. You have to set up your architecture with zero trust. The zero trust concept in mind means um, it's a layered approach. You have identity, so you have to secure your user identities and your managed identities and so on. And then you have the data layer. You have to secure your data by using encryptions at rest and in transit. And then there is also the network layer. So you have to have a firewall in place. You should leverage NSGs, network security groups. It's a nice and cost saving option if you don't need a firewall in Azure, for example. Then you should also have um, uh, artificial intelligence could be also an option that helps you to eh, to to enforce and to leverage security. And that are also all options that are available in the cloud. Then reliability is a point that you should look in the well-architected framework. So if you design your workload and set up an architecture, you should always have in mind to set it up in the correct way. Means a service should be up regards to an specific service level agreement. So maybe you need two virtual machines, a load balancer, um, uh, and to meet the uptime needs you should have in place. Another option could be to use platform as the services because they have already a very high SLR service level agreement. And one option could also be to have premium disks because this also gives you a certain level of service level agreement. Then we have operational excellence. So you should set up your environment to do it in the right ways. You have to have monitoring. You should have some kind of automation in place. So if there are some anomalies and things that um, you have to respond to, then maybe automation could help. For example, automation could also help to solve problems, because if you implement a pipeline in Azure DevOps using infrastructure as code, maybe it helps you um, to resolve issues, because sometimes it's easier to set up an environment completely new than to look for the problems and to investigate in investing a lot of time to solve this problem. And then we have the performance efficiency. So that means you should have, for example, if you have some virtual machines, maybe you put them into a scale set, and so if the demand goes up, more VMs are put into the scale set, and that's called horizontal scaling, and that could be a possibility to to leverage the performance efficiency. Another option is, for example, to have elastic pool for databases in place, so your resources are shared between the databases. There are a lot of options here, and there are more options than you are used to have on premise in the cloud. Now, how does the advisor works and help here? First, the Azure Advisor analyzes all your resources in your cloud environment, and it also looks on your configuration and usage telemetry, and afterwards then it makes recommendations based on the well-architected framework. So depending on the workload and the resources you are providing in the cloud, you will get the right recommendations. So there will no recommendation that maybe doesn't match to your setup. Then the Azure Advisor works at the subscription and resource level, and it's aggregate on this individual basis. You can also set up that you don't get information from a certain resource or from a certain subscription if you want to. And there are some permissions or roles you should have to get these recommendations to be more precise. That means that you should have the owner, contributor, or reader role of a subscription or resource to have access to the respective advisor recommendations. What could these recommendations be? In the field of costs, for example, you can get a recommendation to resize your virtual machine or to shut down if it is underutilized. Sometimes maybe you find out that it's a dev environment, or you have only tested something and you can throw it away. There are also a lot of workbooks available to find these resources that you maybe uh, can throw away to reduce your costs. Then in regards of the reliability, one recommendation could be to enable a backup to protect your virtual machine, and so it can be assured that there will no accidental deletion without no restore option. In regards of the operational excellence, something that maybe is missing in the most environments is that the Azure Service Health itself is monitored. So best practice is to have also alerts available here to be notified when there are problems on Azure side. And being in the cloud doesn't mean that there will be no problems. So it could happen, but to a much lower rate than you are used to on the on-premise side. Then we have performance. One recommendation could be to use managed disk because they are managed and adapted to your needs, and so it could I/O throttling be prevented. And in regards of security, a virtual machine management port should be protected with just-in-time network access control. That's some recommendation you maybe get. As far as I know, there is some specific licensing needed to have this feature, but it's a really neat feature. Yes. Means that if you want to access a virtual machine, you can make a request over the portal, and then your IP address is opened for a certain time and then only you with that IP address is able to connect to this virtual machine. this process runs over the network security groups, and the network security will be deleted after this time runs out. Okay, here we see how the advisor dashboard will look like. So we can find the 5 pillars from the WAF, as the well-architected framework is also called. We have the cost pillar, the security, reliability, operational excellence, and performance pillar. So what does these pillars contain? You see the number of the advisor recommendations for your environment, the number of the affected resources, and the impact level. We have a low, medium, and high impact level, and they are also differentiated by the color. Means high is red, medium orange, and low is blue. If you select a category or a pillar, you receive informations, and these informations are a description of the recommendation. Again, the impact level of the recommendation, and the potential improvement means how many points you will get on the Azure Advisor score for this remediation. And as well, you will also have the number of the resources that are affected by this recommendation. If you drill down on a specific recommendation, there you will have some opportunities to carry out. You are able to make some actions, and you have also the possibility to defer the recommendation. Means that you are not notified for a period of time for this recommendation, and you have also the possibility to reject the recommendation. Sometimes you have a different approach that is also usable, and for example, you don't want to use a technical way to carry out a recommendation. You have an organizational way, and so a reject will be fine, and you don't lose the points you will get for your advisor score in this situation. So now that we know what we should optimize, new questions arise. And these questions are, which recommendations should we now prioritize? Which recommendations are the most effective? And of course, how can we answer these questions, and how can we handle this? This leads us to the advisor score. Again, here the definition from Microsoft Learn. I created a simplified definition. So the advisor score provides information on the extent to which you are complying with the well-architected framework, which optimizations need to be carried out to generate the maximum benefit, and maybe you will also get a feeling for how far you are in your cloud journey, because being the cloud, it's something, it never stops. You have always to revise your environment. There is also a new possibility to optimize your environment. So it's nothing you set up and then you will have nothing to do for the next 5 years. That's an old approach that will not work here. So how is this advisor score calculated? And there are several points you have to think about. Long-term recommendations are weighted more heavily. Recommendations with greater impact are weighted higher than recommendations with less impact. So if you think about um, the different levels that are available, low, medium, and high, they will also have different points in this context. And deferred or rejected recommendations are not taken into account. So you won't get any there will be no minus points, in other words, if you defer or reject a recommendation. So on the right side, you see the advisor dashboard and how the advisor score is presented to you. And I created a calculation. So you have for each pillar a different percentage. Means 100%, to be honest, is a percentage you maybe never reach, but in case of this calculation, I created this. I took this values, and you have to summarize all this percentages of the different categories, and after that you have to divide it 5 times 100, and then you will get the whole total score for your Azure Advisor score. You are also able to watch the progress of your environment over time. There is a so-called score history view available in the advisor dashboard. And with this in mind, there is a circle, something you should iterate over, and it's called the advisor workflow. So you have to check your environment using the advisor. You have to analyze the recommendations, you have to evaluate, and you have to apply this. In other words, check the advisor score dashboard if there are if you have the level you are reached you want to achieve. You should analyze the categories here to find out if you have to do some improvements. You have to evaluate the categories and the recommendations that maybe give you the most positive impact. And after that, you have to apply these recommendations. And it's recommended to have this process on a routine, means every month or every 3 months. It depends, but you have to do it on a regular basis. Sometimes there are recommendations and on more than one resource, and therefore you can also have you have the option to run a mass remediation. um, this is something available if you have the quick fix options. So quick fix means that there is some kind of automatic fix provided by Microsoft. And for for example, I showed that you can shut down or right size virtual machines. And here I will show with the laser pointer. You see that I have selected two virtual machines, and then you can apply the quick fix options to have the solution, the recommended solution in place. If you don't want to have a look in your Azure dashboard uh, on a daily basis, or you can have also some kind of reporting or alerting in place. There are three ways to get these recommendations. There is one way to set up an alert if a new recommendation occurs. Sometimes you only want to have recommendations regarding cost optimizations. Then maybe this is something you could set up. Then there's the recommendation digest, so you will get a report, send it to your email address. And there's also a manual export options available, so you can have your recommendations in the format of a CSV file or a PDF. And we have also the options to make some configurations here. You can give your advisor setup a scope. So if you don't want to have some subscription to be covered by the advisor, you can deselect them. And in regards of the recommendations you can get for your virtual machines, you can have you can set up a threshold for your CPU. Means if it reach this threshold, you will get a recommendation, and this threshold should have to be meet a certain time range. And for this, you have to adjust the advisor look back period. And the default value here is 7 days. Okay, that's all from my side. Let's do a summary and recap. I showed you how what the well-architected framework is and how it is related to the Azure Advisor. I showed you the advisor functionalities. We have looked on certain examples of recommendations. We checked how to fix and to apply these recommendations. And we also covered the alerting and reporting and the advisor configuration part. Yeah. Thank you for your attention. Here are my contact informations, and I'm ready questions if there are any.
Wonderful. Thanks, Thomas. That was really an amazing session. So we learned a lot about your experience. That was perfect. So you're ready for any questions from the audience? So just simply write in the chat, and Thomas is here to answer any questions or concerns you have. Looks like everything went perfectly. So there are no any questions.
Mm. It's a good or a bad sign. I don't know.
No, it's a good sign. So that was a really very well delivered session, Thomas. Thank you. So okay, so sounds
Is
like we
is
don't have
is the
any.
Azure Advisor something you use on your daily basis? In my experience, it's a little bit. Many people know it's available, but they don't use it on a daily basis. And I think it's a really great tool to improve your environment.
Totally agree with you. With some of the environments and from project to project, actually it differs. But personally, I would prefer to use it because it's a tool within your environment that you can use it to get really good recommendations and the things that helps you beside your environment and infrastructure to keep you up to date and also getting information about your environment. So what is good to do, what is not to do. So that also helps with the mindset and also the design of architecture, the path you follow. So why not? So this is this message and advising things that are coming from your heart of the environment. Beside that, we also have like teams and like different kind of mindsets. So I really would recommend of using it. So sometimes there are like maybe professionals also they prefer to move forward with their own advising and experience for best practices. But yeah, this is a tool from Microsoft, a native tool, so it's really good to use. So that was great actual presentation also on that part. So I really loved it that going deep diving into the details of Azure Advisor. So that gives a good picture to the people who might not know or not prefer to use it. But in general, yeah, we now witnessed how helpful is it.
Maybe one point I missed in the presentation is that the security part, the security pillar, is covered by a different product by Microsoft. The recommendations are delivered from the Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and so if you want to have informations there, that also means that you have to activate the free tier of the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. But I think that's also a win-win situation. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So as far as we like move forward in the cloud world, especially with Microsoft, so I always try to share use managed services as much as possible because it's there, it's managed, it reduces your cost and efforts, the whole maintenance part. So it's really important and really helpful from Defender from to the despite maybe it's paid services, but if you compare it to the that you can have it uh, on your environment by yourself from the team to the infrastructure, so that will cost you a lot. So why not using some of the free tools to make your environment secure and get really good advising and recommendations from your environment? And yeah, as mentioned, that those messages actually coming from heart of your environment. So why not using it? But yeah, in general, that was really valuable information.
okay.
Wonderful. I see no questions, so I guess we are good to go then. So thank you so much, Thomas, for your time in the weekend, especially. So that was good to connect and know from your experiences.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, looking forward for next sessions then. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a great weekend.
Bye. One more thing. I will share the informations, the presentation with you, so you can share it with the community if you want to.
All right, exactly. So for the people who are present now in this live stream, so Thomas also agreed that we are okay that we can share the presentation and the PDF of this whole slides with the community. So I will be attaching the file and uploading it to the learning rooms and also our social posts. So if you want to recap the slides together with the video from Thomas, so because as far as we move forward, if I stop the streaming, so the recording will be available on YouTube, and you can also watch it on LinkedIn. So because now we are live on different streaming platforms, you can recap the video together with the PDF slides from Thomas. So thanks for mentioning that.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Thanks. Have a nice evening. Cheers.
Bye.